Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to our Nazca game. This is turn 3. See, I changed the title. We're done with... I'm gonna jump back to it. I guarantee it's gonna happen. It's turn 3. We have our first actual expansion battle. Let's see how things go, shall we? Actually, there's not really much else happening, so that's the first thing that we're gonna jump into. Battle in Bara. See how it goes. Okay, so... we have our little arrangement. We have a couple of, and this seems super weird. We have our, I guess I just positioned this poorly, but we have our Akla back here, and I tried to put all of our Condor Warriors directly on top of our Akla, but they're off to the side. She should still be able to hit all of them with both of the blesses, so it shouldn't matter, but a little sketch. Then we have our archers, we have our mixed group of pirates and human warriors, and what they're going to do is they're going to move forward. When the human warriors get in range, they'll throw a javelin set, and then hopefully right as that is happening, the pirates will be contacting and butchering people. So, we are up against a small group of heavy infantry, actually a decently sized group of heavy infantry. A bunch of militia, some light infantry, and 5 commanders. So, let's see how this works. We're going to watch it from a zoomed out perspective. Looks like the bless went fine. We've got our first volley. Let's see if we get any real contacts. 5... 2, 1. So we definitely got some hits. Not enough to kill anything. No, not enough to kill anything, but that's okay. Got some straggler arrows. Another 5. Decently chunky hits, honestly, coming from where we're at. Another set. Okay, looks like as we are connecting, looks like we've got a handful of militia actually dead from the javelins and the arrows, which is good because these pirates are going to butcher this militia, but they are in turn going to get butchered by these heavy infantry, right? So hopefully we can deal enough damage here that everything else routes very quickly. So this corner is going to get destroyed. We have dropped in the back, immediately killed the priest. That's cool. Now we're fighting the 2 individuals back there. Oh no, this Condor warrior is isolated by these commanders. Militia has routed. Heavy infantry are tearing up. We lost a Condor warrior. No bueno. Might lose a second. Heavy infantry are tearing up the pirates, but it looks like almost everything else is routed. Okay. Pirates actually getting in and helping us in the back here. This heavy infantry is just holding on, which is really unfortunate for us. Would have been better if these pirates had like hit them in the side and chopped them up. Yeah, our human warriors are actually routing. I don't know if they'll get off the field. Okay, they didn't make it off the field. Good. So we don't have to worry about that. The only other place that they would have gone is the capital. Okay, 16. That's pretty high attrition. But that's kind of expected. The pain point here isn't the pirates or the human warriors. The pain point is losing that Condor warrior. We want to lose as few sacreds as possible. So that's really unfortunate. It was nice getting that initial kill on the priest, but then that Condor, some of our warriors went and fought the 2 heavy infantry, and then that 1 Condor went and fought the 3 commanders, and one of them got the kill. So unfortunate there. That is not what we wanted to happen, but I mean, a win's a win. It is what it is. We're gonna shoulder on. I will say this was probably the most challenging of the provinces around us. So, assuming that everything else is going to be easier in the immediacy around us, that should be good, right? Hopefully we will be fine. Next up, we have Battle in Forest of Pine. And this is just us pinging with our scout, so let's actually see what's here. We've got Jaguar Tribe, Slingers, and Warriors. Only 2 commanders, one of which is a priest. So some nature magic. This is actually pretty good for us. We should be able to do mostly fine. These Slingers might tear up the pirates a little bit. But we should actually potentially be able to alpha strike the commanders and not have too terribly much to worry about. Our archers should also do relatively okay against them. Let's see. Okay. We got 2 pings out of him. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, so we lost our scout there. Retreating into enemy territory. Motherfucker, you can fly. Go up. Be like, oh, there's the capital. Let's fly towards the capital. What are you doing? you had 2 places you could fly to. You could have flown to Bara. Like, what the fuck? Alright. Okay. Okay. That's unfortunate. That's really, like... It's not the end of the world, but it is annoying to lose our scout this early on. So, sometimes it do be that way, though. Battles for this turn versus Indies. We have 1 win and 1 loss. The loss is an expected gimme, though, right? We know we're going to lose that, but this time it actually feels like a loss because we actually lost the scout. Unexpected event. As soon as we get Bara, we get an unexpected event, and it is... Now, I will say, luck in this case really doesn't matter because I don't have any luck in Bara yet, right? So I can't really blame luck for this. But I did have luck in my capital last turn, and I got a negative event then. Now I have another negative. This is why people don't take luck scales, is because they're like, I invested in luck 3, and you give me this shit? This feels so punitive. It's like the luck of the draw. It sucks. It's real bad. And 42 unrest is no fucking joke. That is going to diminish the amount of income that we get from this province by quite a bit for a while. Because we're not going to stick around to patrol it down. We got to do other shit, right? And we're not going to naturally decrease it a bunch, right? Because we don't have the scales for that. So that is unfortunate, to say the least. Events this turn, in Bara, we had unrest plus 42. So, yeah. I'm going to be tracked. So, I will say this. In previous games, when I've started doing this kind of, like, tracking scenario, I have not been tracking events like this, right? Events like the defense minus or events like the unrest increase. I'm going to be tracking all of these things because I'm thinking of doing a yearly recap. Right? So every year of the game, so 2 years for me because I'm not going to live longer than that. So every year of the game, the idea is maybe I go back and I take a look at what all recruitment did we do, how many positive and negative events did we do, what was our starting province total, ending province total, right? Like what was our starting income, what was our ending income, right? You know, those types of things. What all did we recruit in that year? How many battles did we win? How many did we lose? So I think it would be interesting to do a video like that, kind of like a summary of the year and maybe like some highlights. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's the intention. So for right now, I'm going to be recording all of this stuff. We'll see how it actually goes. All right, motherfucker. Yay! Bara is a great province with this 47 unrest. Woo. Okay, that's unfortunate. We were really hoping to get both a decent amount of resources and not a crazy amount of gold. I didn't expect to get a lot of gold, but some gold would have been nice. with that unrest added in, we're barely getting anything out of Bara, and that's really unfortunate. But it be what it be, right? So what are we doing this turn? We have our forces arrayed in much the same way as we did previously. I do have our pirates pulled back slightly, and this is so that we can try to make sure none of them get hit by the javelin throws, because I do think a little bit of that happened last time, right? I want the first wave of javelins to happen before the pirates get there, and then the second wave of javelins be happening as the pirates get there. So that's kind of the hope, is that we can fix that up a little bit. And then we are moving into Forest of Pine with the intention of hopefully going towards Amul and Mighty Pillars, right? And we are reinforcing with one of our Apus who is bringing in the 3 Condors. So we should have 6 Condors and 2 Hatenruna, which I think we're going to run into a little bit of attrition here versus 40-ish Jaguar Tribe, but Jaguar Tribe are pretty weak, and most of the attrition that we run into should be the pirates and the human warriors. We might lose our Hatenruna, but we'll see, right? I'm hopeful about this. I'm hoping that we're gonna get a relatively decent amount of movement here without too terribly much happening. Aside from that, we are sending our other Apu to Amul in a, honestly, just attack closest, because we're going to get information on what's in Apu, or in Amul, right? And we are going to get that Apu killed, turning them into a Royal Malqui, or not a Royal Malqui, just a Malqui. And Bara is actually a great province for this, for us to have, when it comes to... Actually, we do have a fucking luck scale here, motherfuckers. Bara is a great province for us to use for things like Malqui Hatenruna gathering, right? Because it can double as a place where we put Pacos, right? So we could put a protected lab here, basically, and that would be pretty okay. So yeah, I think that's going to be generally the plan. Other thing is this is a scout province, so that's really cool. We're going to immediately start producing scouts here. Scouts are, I think, gonna be necessary for us. I say necessary. I don't know that anything we do is honestly gonna matter, because we might get 3v1'd or 4v1'd. We'll see. But if we are going to defend ourselves, a good information network is going to be necessary in doing so, right? So we can't be spending our time, our cap recruitments on scouts. So finding a scout province immediately is pretty nice, right? Being able to toss out these scouts is going to be pretty good for us. So we're gonna be doing a fair amount of that. So all right, so I guess let's talk about actual recruitment, right? So we did 4 recruitment this turn. We have 2 Apus again. We have 1 scout, right? And then we have 5 Condor warriors and 3 Hatenruna. So we already talked about the scout. We already know what's going on there. We really talked about the Apu last turn. Nothing's really changing there, right? We need people to ferry around our troops, and we need Apus that we're going to turn into Malquis, right? So next turn, one of these people is going to be a, they're going to ferry the troops forward, and then the other is going to get themselves killed, basically. So that's the idea. This is the big turn. So we were fortunate in we didn't get a lot of income out of this province, but we did get a lot of resources. So we were able to fill up our recruitment of Condor warriors, right? And that's good. And then we're supplementing with Hatenruna as we can. if our Condor Warriors, if all of our Condor Warriors survive Forest of Pine, that is going to give us 11 Condor Warriors in the Alpha Strike, right? If all of our Haten Runa survive, then that gives us 5 Haten Runa. So 11 Condor Warriors and 5 Haten Runa is a decent-sized Alpha Strike. Something that should be able to take on a decent enemy, right? And hopefully that will be a party that is established, right? That expansion party should be okay, and maybe we can start moving towards building up a second expansion party. Depending on what our losses are over the course of the next... This is part of the problem with this scenario, is we need to have a critical mass, and taking attrition means the critical mass doesn't work, or we lose our critical mass repeatedly. So hopefully, if we don't take much attrition, we'll be able to just start pinging around and we'll make another expansion party. But what I've found is if we get unlucky, we basically get stuck with one expansion party until like turn 7 or 8 or 9, because we have to keep reinforcing that expansion party because of the attrition. Fingers crossed that is not what happens, because if that is what happens, we're going to be very small and we're going to get squished, basically. We'll see how it goes. But this is good, right? Like, getting on turn 3, being able to recruit the maximum number of Condor Warriors we can and supplement it with some other things is nice. That is the direction that we want to be going. So resources, we're happy now, right? But gold, we're very unhappy, right? We've gotten basically a gold minus event, basically, ultimately. So that's really unfortunate. We've also noticed some fluctuation here with these sizes, right? Satrandith and Tylito seem to be smaller, so these might be easier to take. Other thing that we've noticed is in Tylito, there's Death Scale, so that's basically guaranteed to be a death site. And now Miratrand is fluctuating into a higher amount of Deer Tribe. So 40 Deer Tribe, very easy to take. 60 Deer Tribe, a little harder to take, it's fine. 90 Deer Tribe, that's a lot of bodies. That hurts. That'll stab the shit out of us. So I'm assuming it's not going to be 90. It's probably going to be closer to the 60 mark, but we'll have to see. Our Dominion did expand into Golm, Packwoods, and down into Mark. And this is sad for me, right? Like, it's a forest over here, and it's 6,500 because of the fucking mountain. So we have sub 500, or sub 5k, sub 10k, sub 10k, and death scale, so it's going to get worse, right? Sub 10k, sub 5k, sub 5k, sub 10k, sub 10k. Really not great provinces to start off with. If we were full scales, then, you know, it'd be something else. They would at least scale up. But even then, though, like, I would still be like, man, these provinces kind of suck. That is unfortunate. I'm really, really, really banking on the idea that Amul and the Mighty Pillars are going to be somewhat good, right? Amul, even though it's not a forest or not a farmland, it is a plains that is large, and Mighty Pillars is a large mountain. So hopefully we're going to get something out of these two to kind of propel us forward. Otherwise, this is looking a little rough, yo. Like, that's a little nasty. We need our luck to start kicking in, because that's not particularly pretty at the moment. So far, no other new information. Again, we do not know what's going on with anybody else. Got a little bit of scales coming into Desert of Visions. Can't really tell on any of the other stuff. But it is what it is. We do know that Agartha picked up Dante's Stingers. And Magnus's crossbows are available this turn. Magnus's crossbows are pretty okay if you have solid troops to not get shot with crossbows. We do not. Crossbows would be probably a really bad idea for us. That's just asking for us to lose Condor Warriors, basically. So, I think that's it. Not a great couple turns to start with. We'll be done with Conjuration 2 next turn. So we are on our timeline for Conjuration 3 to be done at about turn 6 or 7, right? Should be turn 7, I believe. But yeah. This is looking like a little bit of a rough start. Not because we have crazy bad indies. Thank God, right? But we don't really have anything super good. In a lot of the tests that I was doing, part of the initial success that I could have was by identifying a good province early on and saying, okay, we're going to expand in this direction, secure this province, and that province is going to be a boon to us, is going to get our income up a little ways, right, so that we can float. Because once we get to a scenario where we can actually start producing a fair amount of units, we can start to kind of like produce enough bodies to attrition our way to an okay expansion. That's just not happening. So, unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's going to be the end of the video. Fingers crossed that Forest of Pine goes well. And honestly, fingers crossed that Amul is going to be good for us. We need Amul to be good for us. Ugh. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.